Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Views from the 22 live on the scene. We are Monday Night Football preview. We're going to mix in some Sunday night things, talk about some things that happened yesterday for without the slate. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Vic, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Another good week of football. It was pretty exciting. Some highs, some lows. It was a good week 12. The playoff picture starting to shape up a little bit. Some teams are definitely showing their dominance. Uh, Showing that they're well rounded. Shout out to the Bengals, young football team, but showing that they have good pieces and good play from all levels of the football field, both sides, defensively, offensively, special teams. um it's a good week, good teams showing out this past week. It was fun to watch.
So, we're going to just jump right into it this week. I don't really think we need to really hold any of this back when it comes down to it. We're just going to run through the games real quick, and then we'll highlight the things that are important. Bengals 41 over the 41-10 over the Steelers. It's not very much just to say right now at this moment. Like you said, I agree with what you said. The Bengals, we know what you are right now. We know what you're trying to accomplish. Steelers, this is where I have to ask a couple of questions about the general manager. What was the plan coming into this season? Because you got rid of a lot of guys. You turned over your roster completely, and now the roster seems to be failing. So is as much as we want to blame Mike Tomlin for some people out there, as much as we want to blame other people, the thing that we can't do is we can't blame Tomlin in this situation because Tomlin isn't the issue per se here. The issue is you have a team in this particular instance that is not only struggling, but you have a team that just doesn't have any continuity. Um, Dolphins versus the Panthers. Dolphins 33, Panthers 10. Vic, did anything stand out to you about this game?
It was an impressive win by the Dolphins. Tua played fairly well. um it was disappointing. We expect better out of the Panthers defense. Simply put, I don't know what was happening in the secondary. The Dolphins, even though they have pass protection issues, the past two games, including yesterday, was impressive. They were able to protect a little bit more. So maybe the offensive line is coming together for the Dolphins late in the season. And Tua, like I said, doing well with Jalen Waddle. A lot of the crossing routes, a lot of those short horizontal routes that he excelled with in Alabama, both him and Waddle, they showed out again with that. So if that's something that the Dolphins have to build up on, hey, it is what it is. They played a tough defense and they deserve a lot of credit.
Yep. Nothing really more for me to say. Eagles versus the Giants. Giants 13, Eagles 7. I mean, what is it that we expect from the Eagles at this stage?
They ran the ball, had 208 rush yards yesterday, and only scored 7 points to show. Only had 7 points to show for it. Jalen Hurts kind of went back to some of the questions we had, of him as a passer. Some of the interceptions were kind of sketchy. They did have some drop passes as well. To try to win that game. Unfortunately, Jalen Rieger, who they drafted over Justin Jefferson, your guy out of LSU, who went to the Vikings, just not panning out, man. I don't know what happened, what exactly they saw in that situation there. I know that's a guy we gave a second round grade to, but he's not even playing up to that, bro. He's playing like a third or fourth round receiver right now, or they just don't find ways to use him, to the best of his abilities. But yeah, it was a disappointing loss by a team that was pushing the Cowboys for first place in that division for sure.
Patriots and Titans. Patriots 36, Titans 13. I mean, the Patriots right now are probably one of the scariest teams in football. I don't think anybody wants to play them. It's consistent, it's real, and it's authentic, and it's just what it is. I mean, we're talking about a situation where they're on a 6-game winning streak, and I believe 5 of the 6 games have been decided by more than 20 points.
Yes.
Falcons 21, Jags 14. Okay. Water is wet, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what to say, man. It's the Falcons. The Falcons just don't surprise me. This game was again one of those games that's closer than you would expect for a team like Atlanta, but it is what it is. We have 38-31 Bucks over Colts. This was actually an entertaining game. It has some wild values, has some wild plays in it.
Mm-hmm.
There were some plays made in this game by a couple of players that the Bucks have that were pretty impressive. I thought the interception by Antoine Winfield Jr. was a play he took, which I thought was a very, very good play. I thought Leonard Fournette showed that he is a very, very, very important part of what this Bucks offense can be when it's clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And that's just what I'll say about that. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting watching that game because the Colts kind of went off of their strength. They put their strength to the side and kind of was attacking this Tampa Bay defense, through the passing game. Their strength all season has been running the football with Jonathan Taylor and that outstanding offensive line. And they were attacking. Carson Wentz was having a great game, and all of a sudden, Brady started getting in rhythm, gaining more control with the running game, and they started to use Jonathan Taylor a little bit more, and that's how they were able to tie that, tie that game until Tampa Bay scored again. So it was interesting how the Colts kind of went off of their strength a little bit, was kind of dominating that game, but then it kind of the Buccaneers kind of just showed what a championship team is and kind of shut them down when needed, especially with that play, like you said, with Antoine Winfield. That was a huge play by a safety that, it's rare that you see DBs make those type of plays. And he's one of those guys that can do it.
That was an amazing play. 21-14 Jets over the Texans. Finally, we got to see some good things from Zach Wilson this week, Vic. I was impressed. I finally got to see him play his game a little bit more, which was a good thing. Hopefully this is a confidence builder for him. Anything that you took away from it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to see that one too much. I'm looking forward to seeing that on film. I did see that he threw an interception. But like you said, I also heard that he has some good throws, kind of was more patient and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. It's good to see that they was able to get a win because the Texans, dominated the Titans last week. So the Jets, for them to come in and win that game was good. It's good for that. Good moral for a young team. Morale.
Broncos 28, Chargers 13. Vic, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's another disappointing showing, man. It's just amazing how some teams just, they can start off so well, and then the inconsistencies start to show up. I try not to be those big believers in what is a word, bad luck or something like that. But this is a franchise that looks like it's bitten by something, man. Like, I don't know what it is. Bad culture. What is it? What is it, Jeremy? I don't know. I mean, Justin was looking good for quite a few weeks there. He was disappointing again yesterday. I want the NFL to show that game, against the Bengals, but instead of the Chiefs and Broncos next week. But is it really worth it? The Bengals might be too much of a football team for the Chargers to make that a good game next week. So, I don't know what to say about the Chargers, man. If anybody want to throw in some comments on there, see We got some viewers. Shout out to Tanya. But yeah, no, the Chargers have been disappointing, bro.
I don't have much to say. We'll break down some of the film on the game. Denver is prepared to play these teams with these high-powered offenses.
Yeah.
The Chargers are showing you every week that they just aren't physical. And you got to have some physicality to you to win in this league late in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what it is. Because the next game we got 49ers 34 over the Vikings 26. Bro, I got to be honest, man. The 49ers, as bad as they are in the secondary, they just do everything well in the front seven. Like
Yeah.
they're physical. They're always in the right place
Fast.
to make plays. The worst thing that happened for them yesterday is Deebo Samuel's going to be out for 2 weeks. And he has been tremendous for them, being the all-purpose guy that he was, when he played, for South Carolina. I don't know what else to say, man, but 49ers are another one of those teams that you really don't want to play.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job. Shanahan and that offensive coaching staff is just doing a great job, kind of masking some of Jimmy's limitations and stuff like that. For a guy that I'm a big fan of, he does have issues with some outside the hash marks throws, some vertical throws, and they're just doing an outstanding job with Deebo Samuel, horizontal routes, crossing routes. Run plays, whether it's, out of the backfield or some jet sweeps and stuff like that, some end arounds. It's a good looking offense. The offensive line is strong and healthy. They're running the ball very well with the other running backs as well. And then, like you said, that defense is just, I see a smart, fast, physical defense. So, I mean, they're looking better than another team. I'm pretty sure we'll discuss in a few minutes here. That's for sure. I mean, they're going to threaten for one of those wild card spots, if not the division.
36-28 Packers over the Rams. I said this, Vic, and I'm not saying I'm right yet, but it's starting to round out the way we said, or the way what I talked about. Quick twitch athletes are great, but you still got to have some physical guys around them to help them be the best version of themselves. I don't care how good Aaron Donald and Von Miller are at getting pressure on the quarterback. These elite quarterbacks don't care about pressure because they're just going to simply get it out to guys in space and let them make the plays. And when you have teams that have certain offenses, the one thing I know about the Rams is they can't beat the Packers.
Yeah.
They just can't.
Shout out to KG real quick. Yeah, KG, listen, we was talking about on the views page how we don't want to see Broncos and Chiefs, man. But if the Broncos play like that yesterday, like Germ said, that defense is built for these high-powered offenses, so they can definitely give the Chiefs a run for their money, man. They if they're gonna get that Sunday night spot, they deserved it after yesterday's play. But yeah, Germ, I mean, listen, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, bro. Aaron Rodgers was impressive yesterday. Aaron Rodgers was really impressive yesterday with some of these throws. There were some more difficult throws that I would like to see out of him. Some chances that he took. The accuracy was on point. Of course, he still does his ballerina throws, but sometimes those throws just, are beautifully placed with some good zip on it. If the man has a broken toe, he definitely was not showing it yesterday. They had 3 guys missing the offensive line. They're like in their second and third string on some of those guys, and they protected fairly well against a team that's supposed to be rushing the passer at a high rate, and they're just not doing that right now. The Rams are very disappointing defensively. That front seven is playing awful. Probably the secondary it's a little bit more caught up right now, but that front seven is just not helping. And like I said, the way Aaron, that running game, LaFleur, there's a lot of credit for the way he calls plays, because again, he's made Aaron's job very, very easy with some of the short with that short passing game and the heavy running that they do. But like I said yesterday, I will tell you here, Aaron Rodgers was pretty damn impressive. And if they continue to play like that, that team is going to be a threat again, as always, for that, for the top 3 seeds. So that is it.
So Rams are in a really, really, really interesting situation, right? Because the Packers may end up finishing as the number 1 seed in the NFC. They finish as the number 1 seed in the NFC. If you're a team like the Rams, the one thing that you're not going to probably do is win a division. So that means you're going to automatically probably have to go and travel to go and play Green Bay in Lambeau Field.
Again?
Yes.
Wait, did they go to? Yeah, they went to Green Bay last year. Yeah.
No. So you're going to have to travel to go and beat them in Lambeau Field, and it's going to be a mid-January game. And the teams that this is what's so ironic about this. The Rams can't beat the Packers. What we may finally get to see in the playoffs, which may be the most entertaining part, is the 49ers versus the Buccaneers.
And if the Buccaneers and Packers are 1 and 2, if I'm the Buccaneers, I'm trying to get that first spot because I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are going to want another shot at them up there in Lambeau as well. And it's going to be tough to take 2 of those in 2 seasons, bro. So listen, I'm like I said, Aaron, that was the Aaron Rodgers that I want to see a little bit more of, and again, I'm for that offense where you help out the quarterback and make it so easy. You know what I mean? But the whole MVP awards and putting him at Brady's level, it's just that's where I have my disconnect with people. But he was impressive yesterday, and I do not think anybody in the NFC should want to go to Lambeau Field. Let them get the number 1 spot and go to Lambeau Field in the playoffs because they're gonna be a tough out. They're gonna be tough out, especially if Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon are healthy come season's end.
Yeah. Randall Cobb being back has been a big thing for them too.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to having another guy that Aaron can't deny when it comes down to it. You can't deny him.
That's another key because we talked about this for years. Like he just seems to not trust anybody. Yeah. Whether that's a character issue with him or he really just doesn't like these guys. But what the guys that he believes in, he's gonna attack. And they, all this stuff that we talk about, oh, he needs a number 2 and this, that, and the other. They got them Randall Cobb, and he looks like he trusts them right now. But of course, him and Davante Adams, just again, one of the best, if probably the best one connection in the league right now. So for a few years, so tough team right now, man. Tough football team right now is the Packers.
And last but not least, we have Baltimore over Cleveland, 16-10. Vic, I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna let you finish. Baker was Baker. He struggled. I think, you may, there's things that you can say about the Browns offense, but one of those things that I will say is this. I think that there is a little bit more of an attack on the West Coast offense than we really understand right now, because a lot of these West Coast offense teams are struggling. If you're not going to commit to running the football consistently, and you're a West Coast offense right now, you have to change the philosophy around. Yeah. Because in that Browns game, Devontae Freeman has 16 rushes by himself. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb have 15 total together.
I don't know, bro.
But Vic, I don't like dog. We got to just that's a microcosm of the game. The game was never out of reach. So there was no reason why. I mean, 36, 37 throws from Baker, and then we get 15 total runs from the best running back tandem in football. Yeah.
Bro,
frustrated.
the thing is like, so I'm looking at their total numbers so far, and they've thrown 360 times and run the ball 347 times. Now maybe it should be more rushes than passes, but that's pretty tight together. So like, but why does it seem like when we do watch them when they're on national TV, there's a serious imbalance in the pass to rush ratio? I just think that they're having a serious issue with play calling. I think the play calling, the timing is off. Some of the trick plays that they try to do is just not working out. There was one trick play there that they try to do with the whole, having Baker line up to the outside, running to the left, and then passing it over to the right. All of that stuff. Like, I think it just took away some momentum from the offense. Baker had a couple nice throws, especially that throw on that deep over to Jarvis, where he timed it perfectly, passing the defense, the defenders. But other than that, I mean, yeah, he looks off. He looks, hurt. He looks like he just does not get the same zip on the football. And then, of course, there was some throws that he put at risk and stuff like that. But Lamar had 4 picks, man. And the defense for the Browns, again, was outstanding. And of course, the offense abandoned them again. The offense just left them behind, way behind that defense right now.
I mean, I have to say this for everybody out there. If you want to beat Baltimore, people think Baltimore is so unbeatable, right? Baltimore is not unbeatable. It's just y'all folks don't know what y'all doing. What I seen JOK spy on him and say, you're not faster than me, bro. You're not gonna beat me here.
Yeah.
I seen Myles Garrett chase him down from the opposite side of the field. I seen Jadeveon Clowney. The 28 and 90 were brought for Lamar Jackson. Literally, like that's what their entire job was, Lamar Jackson. At the end of the day, they're going to be a good running football team. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
But you have to eliminate the explosive plays in the run game. And another thing that people have to stop doing is there is no excuse for Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown to be running down the field by themselves.
Oh, bro. Oh my God, yo.
It's no excuse. There's nothing that can suck me in that far to say I'm gonna let 89 run right past me or 5. It's no way.
I just think it's like the defense. They're obviously playing a lot of zone, in which they're trying to make sure Lamar doesn't get out of the pocket and kind of do the creating the plays that he creates. So I mean, those guys are running wide open a lot of times because they're just not being the quarterback is the focus. These teams rather let him pass, of course, than to run, and so that's why you see some of these guys, wide open. But the Browns defense, even though they left Andrews open on a few plays, they also had him covered very well on a few plays in which they were able to get some turnovers. So the Browns defense, like you said, is built to stop the Ravens right now and a lot of teams. And just unfortunately, that offense is just way behind, man.
Bro, if the Browns offense show up to that party yesterday, remember that 20-point score prediction?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a massacre, a bludgeoning. That was supposed to be a bludgeoning yesterday. There's no, bro. I'm sorry to say this, and as we transition to the next game, which is the Monday night game, when you play against a team like the Ravens, it's certain things you don't do offensively, and it's certain things you don't do defensively. I told you what you don't do defensively. Offensively, why are we running stretch and outside zone plays?
Yeah.
Like you just don't do that because subconsciously you have to understand that there are smaller, faster defense in the middle of the field. This isn't the big physical bruising defense. This is that fast. We're gonna be at you, pressure you quickly. We're gonna do everything quickly defense. Oweh, when they picked him, I already knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how like bro, that player is the player that fits the mold of the new Baltimore Ravens. Patrick Queen. Say what you want to say about him. He fits the new mold of the Baltimore Ravens defense. It is, bro. I mean, dog. I don't know, man. I'm just disappointed, bro.
The thing is too, like I don't know if you saw. I forgot. Oh yeah, you didn't join us yesterday, but the PFF had the guards ranked 1 and 2 in the league. You got Batonio, number 1 ranked guard in the league, and what's his name, Teller, number 2 in the league. But the tackles were disappointing, bro. The tackles were disappointing, and Baker got beat up. Again, I understand some of the people, the questions people have with his inconsistencies, but the tackles do not look good right now protecting him. Conklin came back after 4 weeks, and within 4 plays he was hurt again. So hopefully he gets healthy again. It didn't look good, but Baker got beat up pretty good yesterday, and like you said, and I don't even know his first name, but Tyus Bowser also was outstanding for the Ravens, rushing the passer. So it's hard to watch, man, because Cleveland was expected. For me, I expected Cleveland to be a top 3 team in the AFC for sure.
I don't know what to say, man. I'm just at a stage now where I don't know what we're aiming for with this team. Stefanski, you said something that was probably the most beautiful thing that you ever said, and that's not even saying much. It's just saying, bro, it probably was the most spot on thing you said when you said there's just no rhythm to the Cleveland offense. Like, it's no rhythm.
The play calling is inconsistent.
It's no rhyme or reason for the play call. It's literally just, we're just gonna call this play here. And I'm gonna say something. When Baker dropped the ball in that screenplay situation, and he fumbled that ball in that situation, they didn't go back to a screenplay the rest of the game. Kareem Hunt is there for that purpose, bro. You're not even using the players with their purpose, bro. I have nothing. Washington football team, FC Washington versus the Seattle Seahawks and Sierra's husband. At the end of the day, man, Vic, I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to let you follow out right behind. We're going to make the prediction, and we're going to let these people get to the game.
Yeah.
Look, man, Seattle, as much as y'all give John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, Bill Belichick at one point, Mike Tomlin, all these other coaches, all this hell, Pete needs to get some hell too. Because Pete, you're running this quarterback, Bobby Wagner, these other guys into the ground right now. You're wasting primes. And why are you doing that? Because you're being stubborn. And it's time for us to start calling out these coaches that need to be called out. I don't want to hear about Mike Tomlin anymore. I don't want to hear about any of these other coaches if we're not going to talk about Pete Carroll. Period, man. I'm done with it.
Yeah. It might be time. It might be time for them to go their separate ways. Russ may need to go to another team. Pete Carroll, they might need a change there. Again, I've been pushing for them to get better with the offensive line. There's points where the offensive line looks good, and then there's points again. Football is a every down, play to play, week to week sport, man. And the inconsistencies again showing up for them. Of course, Russ was hurt for a few weeks this season, but it's just time for a change, man. Unfortunately, kind of like what Brady, and the Patriots did. It might be time for us to move on. As much as I hate, I prefer guys that get drafted by teams to stick around with their teams, but that's not the reality. with the business. So we'll see what happens today. They got the Washington football team who has been playing better. They are without Chase Young, but they still rushing the passer very well, especially the interior guys are finally, putting the pressure and living up to kind of the talent that they have individually. And as a unit, they're playing a lot better. So I expect Washington to win this game, to be honest with you. I just think this Seattle, again, like I said last week, just too much mess, to a big mess, bigger mess than the Browns probably, which is saying a lot.
Give me Washington. I don't have much to say, man. I don't think this is one of them things where we can really judge what this Seattle team is until you mentioned you need a new locker room voice. You need a lot of things new, and you might need a new quarterback next. So if this is the year for you to be bad, this is the year for you to be bad. I'm not saying you're gonna get a good quarterback. I'm just saying you can then move on and you can probably trade Russ to a contender team that will give up assets to acquire him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hate to say it, Vic, that Cleveland team with that defense and with the players that they have over there, Russ wouldn't be a bad fit.
I like I said, to me, you know how I feel about Russ. I think that he's, again, one of the top 5 best quarterbacks in this league. So over Baker, that'd be great. I think, I think there's a select few that I wouldn't mind if the Browns moved on from Baker, would be for Russ and Deshaun Watson, obviously, depending on what happens with his situation. Other than that, you pay Baker whatever the market or whatever he's asking for. But yeah, I mean, Russ to the Browns would be very interesting for sure.
You might have to take a little Lockett with him though, because Lockett be like, nah, bring me too.
Yeah. But I mean, they can, the Seahawks can build again, by trading some of these pieces. They can start over again. Like you said, with assets in football, you can draft guys and automatically possibly contend again. So you never know.
Absolutely. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Monday Night Blues and Views, or whatever Mo calls it. Vic, Germ, live on the scene. Make sure you guys tune in. We got a bunch of stuff coming up this week. We'll also probably do some more football stuff this week before Thursday as well. We're going to try to incorporate some film this week. So just make sure you guys are tuned into that. As best we can. This new film stuff is a little bit more annoying to record. But with that being said,